What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is a special edition of the Cody Porter Sports Show. As this Saturday officially will kick off the road to WrestleMania, and it's a good one with the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. As always, with these wrestling editions, I got Andy and Brennan alongside me, and guys, I'm just like you. I am super duper excited for this weekend. I think it's going to be a great, not just the Rumble matches themselves. I think it's the best stipulation match that there is, but the entire card. I think we're going to have a really good evening. So let's just get started, get right into it. Andy, I'll go to you first. 2 out of 3 falls match, DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. How do you think this one goes down?
Well, this match I'm probably the most excited about in ring based off the previous work of DIY in 2016 NXT Takeover Toronto. I'm still not sure. We talked about this before, and I think it's Toronto. Um, but I think this match is going to blow it out of the water. I mean, the two teams in it alone tells you how good this is going to be. But it's probably the most exciting in ring that I'm going to be the whole night.
Bren, how about yourself?
No, I'm agreeing full-heartedly. I think I'm gonna knock on wood, say I'm hoping it kind of steals the show from everyone else. Also, I think I really wanted it to be like the three stages of hell, kind of two out of all. But we're gonna this is still okay. They're gonna go crazy. It's gonna be a great match. A lot of story but build up behind it and in front of it. So we'll see what goes.
For sure. Uh, like I said, I think that what I think happens, I think what everyone wants to happen is Triple H just says, hey, you got, 18, 20, 24 minutes. Go and go crazy, put on a show. I think that's what he's going to do. And they are just going to do some crazy things, just nonstop action. I think DIY retains. I think that sets up for a whole bunch of, either like a tag team turmoil match or a tag team tournament that leads into WrestleMania. But this is just going to be fantastic with the two teams involved. I think everyone knows what we're getting. It's going to be, a really good way. I think this or the Women's Rumble will kick off the show. The Women's Rumble kicked it off last year, so maybe they don't this year. But that match, I think, will can get the crowd into it very easily. Moving on to the other non-Rumble match, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, and this one, I think the order of the card matters a little bit. I think the Men's Rumble will be the main event. I think it should be. I think one reason for that is that the outcome of this match could determine, or not determine, but lead you into a certain direction of how the Rumble will work out. Um, Whenever Roman Reigns was champion, I think we kind of always knew what was going to happen. Like there wasn't very many times when we actually thought going into it there is a good chance that he might lose this title. And I think this is the first time in Cody's reign where I still think he retains, but this version of Kevin Owens in a ladder match, they're going to have some gnarly spots, and I think Kevin Owens could win it. I would not be, I don't think it would be the most crazy thing in the world if Kevin Owens wins it. I think Cody Rhodes gets the job done, pulls down both belts. I think this is going to be, like I said, a couple of gnarly spots, maybe a package pile driver onto, sideways ladder or through a table or a Cody cutter off the ladder. Something insane is going to happen. Like I said, I think if Kevin Owens were to win, it'd be insane. It'd be crazy. It'd be awesome. And that could really change the way the Royal Rumble plays out later in the night. Brendan, how do you see this one going?
How do I see it going, or what do I think of it as well?
Either both of them.
Oh
Both of them.
gosh. Oh, well, first of all, I think in the long run, I'm going to see Cody going for it. I know there's going to be a lot of broken ladders. I'm ready to see. I think one of my favorite, hopefully, like Owens does some kind of swanton onto a ladder, either takes a spot or gets on Cody. I think it's going to be great. I also think maybe going a little ahead, being a little crazy with it. I think we're going to have a return, maybe a surprise to stop Kevin Owens. And I'm thinking the RKO man. I'm just seeing that happen, maybe, and maybe not. Um, but I feel like in the long run, it's just I feel like Cody has to win it in order for whatever story they have later. Um, and then they'll build off something with Kevin Owens and Orton, maybe.
Gotcha. So regardless of your shirt, you are picking Kevin Owens to lose this
I
one.
want Owens to win so badly, and I want him to hold both titles. but it's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I'm
Andy.
really emotional about it.
I'm sorry, Brennan. I'm probably going to agree with you there. I don't think Kevin wins.
It
I
hurts.
do think that is intriguing if he does win, but I think there's just way more storylines. Especially, I love the story they're starting to tell, which they've been telling for a while now, but they've brought it more to the front of Cody slowly losing all of his friends, and that the belt itself slowly turns a person away from everyone and isolates them from everyone. And I kind of love that, and I kind of want that to continue. Honestly, if it wasn't for the last few weeks, the promos, I probably would be dying for Kevin Owens to win. Um, Not that Cody's reign has been bad or anything, but I love Kevin. Wish he would win more. Doesn't win that often. It feels he always feels like he's the perfect guy for a main event to lose. It just
Mhm.
seems. But with the story they're building, and honestly, especially if this goes on before the Rumble, Cody winning leaves it up a lot more to who can win the Rumble. I think if Kevin wins, it's maybe Sammy will win, maybe uh, Randy will win, but for the most part, if Cody wins, I could see 10 people winning, and it wouldn't shock me. So I as long as that's the order that they come out, I think it'd be better if Cody won. So I do think this match will have Randy return. I think he'll return here. I don't know if he'll be in the Rumble if he returns here though, which is kind of sad, but also it makes sense. I mean, the Rumble's pretty stacked right now, and if this goes on before, this will tell a lot about the Rumble. So I'm very excited for the match. I don't know if I sound excited. I'm very excited. Carnage is going to be awesome. I just think Cody's going to win.
I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like if part of me thought if depending on the order, I think if Cody or if the match is before the Rumble, I'm gonna say Cody wins. But I feel like if it's after the Rumble, wild if it is. But if that happens, I feel like Cody might or Kevin Owens might win because I'm sorry, I feel like that pop would be crazy. I don't know.
I think regardless of when this match happened, Kevin Owens take going over Cody to win the titles, the crowd insane. The place, the roof would go off the place. And that's kind of one of the things I'm going to talk about with the Rumbles, whether I get into them. Um, I think the Triple H reign of creativity has been awesome. Lack of surprises has been probably the only thing I would really harp on. I love surprises. They gotta be predictable from time to time, but you gotta go left when everyone's going right from time to time. I think. But let's get into the women's rumble. Last year, like I said, it kicked off the Royal Rumble. Um, Interesting note about the last two women's Royal Rumbles: Liv Morgan has finished second in both of those matches. Andy, I'll let you start off with this one. How do you think the Women's Royal Rumble plays out? You can go ahead and start any way you'd like. Who do you think wins? Who do you think the final four is? Surprises? Just give me the rundown of the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, from your perspective.
Well, so the women's for me, not that it feels underbooked, but it compared to the men's right now, because the men's feels like they are setting so many storylines up. For the women's, there's gonna be a lot more surprises because they barely announced. I mean, they've announced what, 10, 11, 12 guys. I don't know how many they've
I think I
announced.
think it's 15 guys and 8 or 9 women.
Yeah. So like there's a lot more open slots for returns. Um, I mean, I'd love to discuss with you more and more about this, but I would say for me, the winner, I think is going to be EO. And I think that might shock people because they might want Becky or Charlotte or um, maybe even Liv. But I think EO versus Rhea at WrestleMania would be a show stealer in itself. And I think also Triple H loves EO. I'm pretty sure that's who's going to win. But um, that's my winner. As for the other ones, Final four is kind of hard. I think Liv might get second again. That'd be hilarious. I hope that just happens for a while. She just keeps getting second. She might be the Iron Woman too, because um, it feels like this past year she's done so much for the company. I think they might try to showcase her here a little bit just to kind of give her flowers. Um, As for returns, I mean, we can talk about that more, but I'd love to hear what you guys think will win.
Yeah, I'll go next. I think personally, I think it comes down to two. I think it's either Charlotte or Io, and I was leaning Charlotte for probably the last 2 months or so. But I thought it was so strange the way they've announced Charlotte's coming back. Either don't announce it unless you got a whole bunch of other insane things coming. Even though, like, I don't know why you announce it, and if you do announce it, I don't know why she would win if you announce it ahead of time. That's the only. That's I'm I am picking. Well, I don't know. I see because the
Say it.
way I see it is Io wins, she goes on to face Rhea. Charlotte wins, she goes on to face Tiffany Stratton. And the thing with that is, if I play into my idea of what I think Triple H does just regularly, Charlotte beats Tiffany. She holds the title till next WrestleMania. Tiffany wins next year's Royal Rumble, and Tiffany has to wait a year to win it back from Charlotte, which I think is it's just so generic and drawn out. Like, I don't want that. I like if Charlotte wins and goes on to face Tiffany, I want Tiffany to go over WrestleMania, and I don't know if that's how Charlotte Flair. Like, I mean, she has 14 title reigns, and that is just absurd. A lot of people call her the women's goat. She's not. Her last name is Flair, and that's, I mean, good wrestler, good promo. I think I think Becky Lynch is the goat for women's wrestling. But
I was about to ask.
Mm.
um, so if I had to go, because my thought as soon as I saw them announcing Charlotte coming back, that my gut said she's not waiting. So I will go with Io to win it and go on to face Rhea. Iron Woman, who do they want to show off? I don't think Liv. I think Liv has worked so hard. She might come in towards the end of it and maybe toss out some of the bigger names or some of the younger names that are having a good showing. Hmm. I've seen a popular pick has been Asuka returning
Right.
and just going crazy, which I could see. I can also see Raquel coming in and making Liv the Iron Woman just because Raquel's the one throwing everybody over for her. So I think there's a pretty wide range. I think with men's, it's someone you have the stars that are going to be in the final four, and then you have a couple of younger guys that are stars, but they're going to be the ones stealing the show for the first 20-25 guys. I think. Brennan, who do you think wins? And what do you think their path is to WrestleMania?
I was kind of with both of you on like all aspect, but I was also just really torn between who to pick. I was thinking EO for the storyline. I think that'd be a great match. I was thinking about Charlotte, and that'd be a build up to Tiffany Stratton. But we talked like I agree. I think it'd be pointless. It'd be too soon, and it would just be giving her the title because as soon as she won the Royal Rumble, we're all like, okay, well she's gonna win now. I also thought about Nia Jax. I don't know why. It's like just actually giving her the win for once, and funny enough to put her back with Tiffany, and but then she loses. I think that'd be great. So just make her Tiffany look better. Um, but I don't know. How I hope it doesn't go is Charlotte wins, and I guess I'd root for Io to win. I'm calling I can't remember first part of her name, Valkyria.
Lyra.
Lyra Valkyria. I'm calling her being the Iron Woman.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Honestly, I didn't think of her, but that is a great one.
because she just got that push with the title. So I'm like, maybe we'll give her something the name of it. But yeah, we'll see. Um, who is it? I talked about we had put in returns like Becky Lynch and Trish and that Jordan Grace girl from TNA and but yeah, maybe Jade.
Yeah, I think like Andy mentioned how there's not been a lot of announced. I think a lot of returns, a lot of NXT girls, a lot of. I think there's going to be a lot of. Oh, that's sweet. She's here for
Mhm.
the women's match. I'll just pick three that I think will be here. You guys can each, if you want to go the TNA route or just returns. I think. Um, Nikki Bella, I think she's in the match.
Okay.
Really? Right after
Yes,
Traders, you think she's in shape?
I I think she comes in for the pop.
They had her on Raw the other week.
Yeah, I think she comes
Oh
in for the
yeah,
pop,
she is.
and that might just go ahead and she's been talking about how she wants to be back, and maybe that's hint, whatever. So that's just, and I mean, any old person. I mean, what was it? I think it was. I saw a clip from early 2000s Rumble, and the first two people were like Kane and the Honky Tonk Man. So I mean, anything's possible. But um, Nikki Bella, um, I think Becky returns, and huge pop, and not a return, but a debut on the main roster. I think Julia comes out. I think Julia has a good showing in the Rumble. She's incredible in the ring. She's awesome to watch. So those are the three I'm gonna roll with. Andy, will go to you. Whether it be returns, debuts, whatever.
Speaking of NXT, I think Roxanne Perez not only will it's not her debut, but not only will she come up in the Rumble, but I think she'll stay up. I think she's having a feud with Bailey right now. It makes a lot of sense for her to be up here. She, I think, is ready. I think she's dominated next. Well, not dominate, but because they have a really good women's division, honestly. But she's been very well down there, and her coming up, I think it's just time. I think she's going to come up. I almost picked her for my Iron Woman because I honestly think they might do that with her, but I'm very excited to see her. I think she'll be someone that comes up. Jordan Grace, you talked about earlier. I also, I'm not trying to steal everybody like from NXT and TNA, but I think she also might come to the main roster for a while. I hope they don't change her name because I don't want to learn a new name. Jordan Grace is fine, but they might. I don't know. And then a big one, I saw some contract dispute rumor things. Honestly, I just want to hope. So I'm not going to pay attention to that. I hope Alexa Bliss shows up. That's probably who I honestly, the reason why I think they announced Charlotte is because someone of that statue, someone that will pop the crowd is coming back and they don't want to take away from each other's shine. So they announce her in advance to not dim the other surprises. So I think Alexa Bliss might be 30, honestly.
I
I didn't even
think
think about Alexa Bliss. Jeez.
I think the reports of her contract dispute may have been throw all the marks off the scent. I think that was because literally as soon as it like got out, every single wrestling Twitter person and reporter was like, their contract breakdown. She's not going to be at the Rumble. Yada yada yada. I think that was a planned information release to the public.
Mm.
Brennan, who do you see? Coming back, returning. What do you want?
Like I said before, just we're gonna get Becky Lynch, we're gonna get Trish. I'm blown away. I didn't even think about Alexa Bliss and how many things can just lead to that and how amazing it could be. Um, yeah, I agree with y'all. And I think I already said, yeah, Jade and Jordan Grace were my top ones I was thinking about. Um, I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, my guess is that Jade's attacker was Naomi, so
Mhm.
it'd be interesting to see if she comes back. Uh, does she immediately go in and confront Naomi, and then does that confuse or set off Bianca? Or like, how do they tell that story within the match if they do, or they could both be in it at separate times?
Or
I
they
think,
make her like a heel and they make her team up with Naomi and she turns on Bianca.
yeah, something. They're still tag champions.
Hmm.
Well, I guess technically Bianca was too, and then Naomi took her spot, but whatever.
Hmm.
Andy, were you gonna say something?
Well, I was gonna say, what if she comes in and eliminates both of them, maybe one by accident, so we still don't know
Yeah.
who the tagger is. I actually don't think like. There's a part of me that thinks that she won't return at the Rumble, only because I think they'll save that for like a moment of like they're defending the tag team champion, or a big moment of like she attacks someone specific. If she's just coming in the Rumble and then fighting and then eliminate someone. I mean, she should do that either way if they attacked her or not, because she
Right.
should be trying to win. So I I agree. I'm excited to see her back. Also, she was actually injured,
I
right?
don't think so. I think what it was is they wrote her off for injury to send her back to the Performance Center.
She needs to work.
I think they want her and Bianca for this year's WrestleMania, and to do that, she still needed work. And I mean, she's been off TV for 2 months now, 3 months. So I don't know, but huh?
Hopefully it's working if that's what the
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, let's get into it. The real meat and potatoes. We love everything, but the men's Royal Rumble match is probably a top 3 match every single year you're looking forward to. No matter how it ends up turning out, everyone's looking forward to it. And before we dive in, I kind of want to delve into the past a little bit. I talk about how Triple H booking. Let's compare that kind of older booking. So Cody obviously wins the last 2, challenges Roman at both WrestleManias. Um, and something I saw this week, I read it was like it was over like the last like 15 WrestleManias. It's like when in doubt, look at the odds to win WrestleMania, and usually the winners are like the top 3 guy. Obviously, there's not perfect odds makers when it comes to wrestling because it's wrestling and they can't know for sure. And Triple H could come out that morning and say, you know what? I want Braun Strowman to win. Like he has that ability. Like it's not actual sports. Like the books can never actually know. But the last 2, Cody was, I think, in 2023 he was the favorite, and the last year he was like the 3rd favorite to win. But storyline wise, that made perfect sense. I think everyone saw it coming both years. 2022, Brock Lesnar lost his title to Bobby Lashley early in the night. Brock then came out at 30, won the Royal Rumble, and then lost to Roman at WrestleMania. So just, I mean, McMahon nonsense there. The
Mhm.
year before that, Edge wins, challenges Roman, but then Daniel Bryan gets inserted into a triple threat. Still kind of some nonsense there. The year before that, Drew challenges Brock, but that was also he eliminated Brock at that Royal Rumble when Brock was destroying everybody. And so storyline wise, that made sense. 2019, Seth challenges Brock. They had history. 2018, Shinsuke challenges AJ Styles. Tons of history there before the WWE. So if we're using that to kind of push forward and we're thinking about the men's Royal Rumble match, I'll just give you guys this information right now. I checked it out before this, and I wouldn't have guessed this. The odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble is Seth Rollins,
Wow.
Okay.
followed by John Cena, followed by CM Punk, and
Yeah.
they're all favorites. They're all minus money. Roman Reigns is plus 125, and then the next closest is The Rock at plus like 800.
The Rock's not going to be in it.
So
Spoiler
just a
alert.
little
Better
information
not
if
be.
that maybe wants to sway you a bit. First things first, before we dive into any details, Brennan, who is your winner, and who do they face at WrestleMania?
Man, see that I didn't. Oh, okay. You threw that curveball, and now my brain's just going everywhere right now. I had it between Punk and Cena, and I'm probably leaning more towards Punk for storyline. Um, but now, oh gosh, now I can see it where Rollin wins the Rumble, and then somehow later on, that's where the favor comes in for Punk and Heyman, where he just gets to automatically go in that match. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, you shouldn't have done that. No, I think yeah, I'm gonna lead towards Punk. I think the last 4 I'm calling it will be Cena, Rollins, Roman, and Punk. For funniness, I think Drew will be the 5th because that's how it usually goes. Um, it's just wild. I don't know. I think I want Punk for the storyline, but if Rollins wins, I think it's going to be the exact same thing in a sense. I want for the story as well. I want Roman and Rollins to start. And I think it'd be cool if they just lasted the whole match. I don't think it's going to happen. They're probably going to give them a lot of rest before. I don't know. But yeah, I'm calling Punk, but also now that I'm thinking about it, probably Rollins.
So you're calling Punk, and then to go face, I assume, Cody at WrestleMania.
I think either Cody, I was actually thinking they finish it somehow with Punk and Rollins still, like somehow. Or I don't know. Not you threw me off. You threw the ball and I swung and missed. So that's where I'm at. Punk, but also now I'm thinking Rollins for better story.
Andy, who do you think stands victorious at the end of the Rumble, and who do they face at WrestleMania?
Where are the odds on do you still have the odds pulled up?
I don't, but I could get to them.
Interesting. Now I'm just thinking. I mean, Seth Rollins would make sense if they're trying to build to maybe a triple threat, maybe I feel like. But the
Who do you
John
want to?
Cena, I really
Who do
want
you
to
want to
pick
know
Cena.
about? Is there someone you want to know about?
Oh, I was just gonna ask a dumb one. Like, where's Karrion Cross on that list?
Ooh,
Um,
I don't even know if is he even declared for the Rumble?
not. He's below Omos.
Oh yeah. Oh, spoiler alert. I was
He's
getting taller
below
now.
Goldberg. I mean,
He's
these people
below
aren't.
Goldberg.
He's not. Yeah, I mean, these people aren't announced. But this is just the odds people are giving. Yeah, he's below Big E. So, I mean, I don't think Karrion Cross is going to win this year.
Well, why am I even watching then? No, the thought that Seth never even crossed my mind as winning.
yep.
But you did say Cody was third last year.
Yes, Cody had the third odds last year.
So it doesn't mean really much if he's not first. I don't want to pick Punk, right? I think there's a way you could build Punk, Drew, and Seth to have a triple threat at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship.
For
So
Gunther's title.
yes, I think Gunther's going to lose. I think he
To
might
who? When?
one of those three.
At like
I think he,
Elimination Chamber?
and then I think he faces Goldberg at WrestleMania.
Okay. Okay. Oh,
Anyway,
okay. Okay. I see.
spoilers.
I see where you're going with it. I see where you're going with it.
But do any of them need to win the Rumble to get there? Maybe, but I honestly want John Cena to win so bad, but he also doesn't need it. So Seth, should I go with the odds favorite or that threw a curveball? I was just gonna say CM Punk because
See, it's a
like
curveball, man. It's a
I
curveball.
expected it with CM Punk, but
That smile, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was like, I have this prepped and ready to go. Here you go.
When I pulled it up, like there was shock in my face when I'm like, not only is like if it was like Seth Rollins, everyone was like plus 100, like it was like we have no clue, but it is Seth Rollins as minus 200.
Jeez.
Like that's
crazy.
crazy.
What were do you know the numbers last year by chance?
No, I don't. All right, so I'll give you the 2023 Rumble odds so you can compare that to what I gave you just now. So in 2023, Cody Rhodes was the odds-on favorite at minus 125. Like I said, Rollins is minus 200, followed by who was it? Followed by Cena and Punk at minus 150. I can give you some of the other ones. Last year, he was the third favorite. He had plus 250. 22. Well, this is crazy that they still gave him insane odds because he had a match that night. Lesnar was the favorite at plus 300, even when he came into the night with the title.
Oh,
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
was that the day of though?
I
I'm sure it
assume
was.
so. I'm on Reddit, so I can't give you any real solid information.
Yeah,
2021, Edge wins as the fourth favorite, had plus 650 odds. He was behind.
Wait. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
He was behind Brock Lesnar, Keith Lee, and Daniel Bryan.
I can't believe Keith Lee was that high. I love that for him, but
2020, when Drew won, third favorite behind Brock and Roman at plus 500. So those are the two kind of outlier years, maybe three if you want to count Brock. But you had plus 650 and plus 500 and not the favorite. Then before that, you had Seth as the favorite at minus 110, Shinsuke as the favorite at plus 110, Orton as the favorite, Triple H as the favorite, Roman as the favorite, Batista as the favorite, Cena as the favorite, going all the way back to 2013. Another little nugget. This is the first Rumble that Roman's been in however many years. Every year Roman has been in the Rumble, he has either won it or the person that eliminated him has won it.
2015
Little extra
or 2016. You've got, Triple H. Yep.
15.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So just a little extra information there. Andy, I think I cut you off. You were leaning Punk, I guess.
yeah, I mean,
But that triple threat also Illumin.
maybe that's just me. That's headcanony, I guess. I think I've just booked it myself, and that's what I want to happen. because CM Punk versus anyone would really, main event would any show, honestly. The thing is with CM Punk is he doesn't. I don't think he needs it. And also, I love the story. I think once you take away the story of CM Punk is finally main evented WrestleMania, it takes away a chunk of storylines that could happen next year. So maybe he's not planning on doing this for a while, but like main eventing WrestleMania almost feels like it should be
Like his last ditch thing.
Mhm. Like if next year he isn't main eventing, like he'll be having to go for a title or something of that magnitude. And if he isn't, then there's no point, right? So like I don't want to pick CM Punk, not because I don't like him, which at times I haven't. Let's be honest. But the because of those odds, I've actually changed my mind. You know what? I changed my mind like 7 times the last 5 minutes. I came into this thinking, CM Punk or bust, really. But also, Seth Rollins, I guess, has a chance. John Cena, in my heart, I hope wins. Um, Sami Zayn, I honestly think they could build a lot of stories with that. I know it's kind of under the cuff and it won't happen. Let's be honest, but I am very excited for it. But I think I will actually, just to be different, because you picked CM Punk, right? Right? I'm gonna pick Seth Rollins because I gotta go 100%. I gotta bet 1,000 here. I'm 3 for 3 right now, so
So I just want to make sure I have your exact prediction correct, and I'm going to walk it out. You tell me yes.
yeah.
So you think Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble? Gunther then gets challenged by either CM Punk or Drew
Probably.
McIntyre at the Elimination Chamber. Goldberg comes out to cost him at Elimination Chamber, so whoever faces him wins it. Uh,
Oh,
Rollins then challenges whoever won it, and then somehow the other person gets involved, and it's a crazy, I mean, incredible triple threat. If Triple H built that, that would almost be perfect. That I don't think it's that insanely far fetched, to be
it's
honest.
not. It's not.
It would be. I don't think that's textbook Triple H booking.
Sounds
That
like
is something more out of the mind of Vince McMahon, but that would be an incredible story.
no. I think it'll be incredible, but also based off I think the two best feuds that have happened this past year, and honestly, the year before, because you remember Seth and Drew were kind of feuding for a long time the year before, was Drew and Punk and Seth. And so if you use all three of those feuds, they all still hate each other. Now, they might be working towards anti-Roman, which means Seth and Drew might start to work together, which is a whole nother thing that I didn't even get into. So
Whole nother
again,
story.
we could talk about that more about with surprises and storylines and stuff. This is just the winner. I'm going with Seth because I like money and I'm going to take the odds-on favorite.
All right. So for me, so I've been pretty much sold. And I'll be honest. You said sometimes you don't like Punk. I'm a Punk hater. That's kind of I'm firm in my camp. I believe what I believe. I'm a Punk hater. But whatever, he draws, and that's what matters more than anything in wrestling. He's an absolute draw. I've been pretty much convinced of Punk's winning, but I want Cena to win. Cena comes out and cuts that promo that he's entering, kind of starts to change my tune, but he's just MIA. He's not. I don't think he's gonna be off TV for 3 weeks and then come in and win it. I would love it. I don't care. He could come in and win every single match all year long, and that would be perfect for me. But I've been leaning Punk, and then literally watching Monday Night Raw after obviously Saturday night's main event. Nothing really happens. Seth starts to show off him and he starts to show off talking about the Rumble, and my thoughts like I don't care. Like you're not like you might be the Iron Man, you might have the most eliminations, you might be in the final four, you might be second, but you're not going to win. Well, Gunther comes out and I mean, you should immediately go, oh, that's a WrestleMania main event headline match. That's an insane match. It's an insane that will be incredible. And they have their little promo and they laugh at Logan Paul. So literally at that promo, I think Seth Rollins might win it. And then they have Jey Uso come out and just cut a promo, and that was it. And I thought, kind of what I said earlier, is Triple H does not do surprises. I think the biggest surprise he's had has been Sammy winning the IC title and Jay winning the IC title. Um, Sammy, I think, was the crazy one. I don't think no one was picking Sammy to beat Gunther at last year's WrestleMania. and it was incredible. I think, and I don't think it's not believable. If Triple H wanted to pop everyone, pop the internet, Jey Uso, and he goes on and beats Gunther because there's Jey Uso's had Gunther beat twice. He had him beat for the IC title, and Jimmy ruined it. And he had him beat for the. I mean, he hit every finisher twice against Gunther, but it was Saturday's main event, so there's not going to be a title change. I would be killer. I would love to see. And I was just thinking, why did Jey Uso come out and just cut a little 2 minute promo and that was it? Um, so that would be sweet. And so I kind of started thinking that would be a major swerve, but I could see it happening. And then so I was kind of like, as the show's progressing, I'm like, I'm off the Punk train, thank God, finally. And then him and Cody come out and cut that promo at the end, and that was just, I mean, as The Rock does, that was incredible.
The
That
crowd
was,
was
I
silent.
mean,
It was absolutely silent.
it was
Uh,
it was a perfect segment. I mean, and Punk pointing out that Cody's turn, like he's not turning, but he's turning, and I mean Cody's character is definitely evolving, especially with this Kevin Owens storyline. I mean, I tweeted out as soon as the show was over, Punk's gonna win. These promos, this build up is gonna be incredible. I mean, Cody Rhodes might be a full blown heel by the time we get to WrestleMania if it follows this way. Um, and then I just put a dig at Punk. I said Cody's going to carry the match, and then Punk wins. Um, I think it just I think it makes the most sense. It's the easiest route. Um, I think it's the most expected route, regardless of the odds. I think everyone thinks Punk's winning, and like I said, when it comes to Triple H, I am not expecting the unexpected ever. Which I guess no one's ever expecting the unexpected, so why it's unexpected. But um, I think it's gonna be Punk. I think he wins. I think they have an incredible 2 month build up. I mean, just a fantastic promo after fantastic promo, characters changing and evolving, and then Punk goes over at WrestleMania. But I'll go ahead. I'll do my final four. I think you guys both did. I think it's Punk. I think it's Cena. I think it's Roman. I just don't, as much as I don't think Roman really factors into the title picture, he's not going to not be in the final four. And then with that, I think you got to have another heel in there because I would say Seth. So I think Drew maybe. I think you get, well, it doesn't even matter because everybody hates Roman anyway, other than the bloodline. So I would say it's two heels and two faces, but Drew hates Roman just as much as he hates the faces. So it doesn't really matter. But that's my final four. That's my pick. Who do I think is the Iron Man in this match? I had some thoughts. I have two picks. It's either going to be Braun Breaker or Dom. Those those are my two guesses for the Iron Man. Andy, what are your Iron Man predictions?
I actually love both of those Iron Men. I didn't even think about Dom, but Dom would. I watched WWE put out everyone
To
reacting.
watch along?
Yeah, to the Rumble last year, and I did not realize how long Dom was in it last year. And all he did was take bumps. Yeah, I mean, he did not. I don't think get any offense in at all. Pretty sure he was there so that when a babyface came in, they had someone to hit that everyone would love for them to hit. So him being an Iron Man is perfect, just for that reason. I think a small mention here that I think could be an Iron Man that I don't think people will talk about would be Finn. I could see Finn being in there all the time. First of all, probably got the best cardio out of people there. Well, maybe not some NXT guys that come up, but I mean, I think he would probably be able to last the longest. I also think that Finn probably needs it a little bit just because he's also another person who always loses. Um, and I hope he comes back to the Rumble. I guess that's a return as I mean, he's gone for like 3 weeks, but also for my final four, I think that what's crazy to me is that we're not even suggesting Roman wins. I don't even think any of us would suggest Roman gets second.
Yeah.
And like that's a crazy thought. I mean, it's I think it's true, but it's just going from the. Did you hear that?
Is there a tornado outside?
Thunder in here. So hold on, let me wait. Okay. I think that it's crazy from going from his dominance of like he is the main event, he is the focal point to like now he's not
I mean, the
even
Rumble is
considered.
just so star-studded. I mean, it is crazy. Like, I think it was 20, what it was, 22, whenever Lesnar came in the final uh, set of people. I mean, it was like Shane McMahon and Bad Bunny were like, and Riddle were like in the final six or whatever, and Rock comes in and throws everybody over. Like, it is, I mean, truly, I mean, with just the announced people, that would be more star-studded than you would usually expect out of a Rumble.
No, yeah. Like that's the thing is like if Roman was in a Rumble any of the past 3 years, you would think he was going to win or at least be like the last person eliminated. This year, it's not that he's an afterthought, but he is so down on like what we want to see or who we want to see go over that it sounds like if Vince was there, he would win at this moment. But it's crazy. The main event right now is flourishing.
Wide open.
It is. He's got so many good main eventers that I actually am worried about WrestleMania being like there's not going to be enough room for everybody. Like I don't. What is Damian Priest going to do? What
Yeah.
is, like Finn Balor? You know, I talk about Gunther wrestling Goldberg as a joke because I need him to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have the they might have that triple threat without the champ.
I mean, and if The Rock's not involved, what's Roman doing at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I do, and I didn't get to talk about this earlier, but I do think there is like a anti-Roman team building with like Drew, Kevin, potentially Seth, potentially Sammy, like those. Which Sammy would be wild, but just because of recent weeks of he accidentally hits his friends twice, and Kevin Owens and Drew are dapping him up after he hits them. I know it's probably accidental right now, but anyway, that's again way in the future. But um, it's just crazy how good the main event is. Like we did talk about Damian Priest. Damian Priest has been the main event
Yeah.
most shows this year, and he's
Last year he cashed in his Money in the Bank at WrestleMania to win a world title,
yeah.
and he's not even near the top 10 of who you think will be important come WrestleMania time.
And that's not he's not been bad either.
No, he's won everything. I mean, he's not the only time he's lost in the last year has been to Gunther for the title.
All right, and that was interference too. Like it's crazy how good the main event is. That's why this Rumble is the most anticipated Rumble I've had in a while. Because the last few you're excited for them, but you kind of know like Cody's gonna win or CM Punk's gonna win. Like I didn't see Brock coming, but you know certain people are gonna win leading up to each of these Rumbles. There's only like a handful. This one, you could list several like the guys we've talked about. If any of them won, because of how in depth the main event is, no one really needs help to get to the championship right now. So if any of those people won, even if Damian Priest won, which he's not going to, but if he won, it wouldn't be like, oh, the end of the
Yeah.
world. They're going to
The
build
Rock could literally come back and win, and it wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's what's so exciting about this. But that to be said, you asked me a question about Iron Man. I'm going to go with Finn just because I love him. All right, sorry.
Right into you, Iron Man. Who is the longest laster here?
I'm kind of going with the Dom side as well. I just think like the last time he just took so many spots, and I think he just knows his craft a lot better now. So I think he'll just make it even better for like, oh, like how are these people gonna try to get him over? I don't know. Definitely Dom, but I was really wanting to know y'all from y'all as well, like returns that we're thinking.
I'll go to my returns, but
Yeah.
first, right before I do, um, not Iron Man, just because I don't think he'll come in early. I think Jacob Fatu will have the most eliminations. I think he'll come in at like
Oh, yeah.
15, 20, 25, somewhere in there, and he'll just throw out every mid Carter, just all of them, just destroy people, and then probably even take out like a Sammy or a Damien or like I think Fatu he's gonna pop off at this Rumble. Returns the first depending on the earlier match And this guy, I think, could win it. I don't think he will. I don't think he's anywhere near the top odds, but it wouldn't be surprising. And if he isn't involved earlier, Randy Orton could come back and win the Royal Rumble. Come out on Monday. Cody Rhodes comes out and hits an RKO on him, and he's heel Randy Orton again, and he's challenging Cody for the WWE title at WrestleMania. Like that's not an insane thing to say. I don't think. But I think Randy will be back on this show, whether it be getting involved in their match or the Rumble. Um, Everyone's been saying it's not going to happen. Paul Heyman was either being over the top on purpose to get people talking, or it's going to happen. I think it. After watching Paul Heyman's promo last night, I think Brock may be there. If you were listening to him cut his promo about Roman Reigns being the one, he kept saying the one and all these things, and that is exactly how he referred to Brock Lesnar for years after he defeated Undertaker. He always would say the one in 21 and 1. That is what he said over and over again for years as Brock Lesnar's guy. And last night's promo talking about the WWE 2K, and he just kept saying everyone wants to be the one like Roman Reigns. And like him harping on that, just immediately my brain went Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar. So it could have just been Paul getting freaking people out, which would be make perfect sense. But if that music hit on Saturday, I mean, all hell breaks loose. Other returns, I think they tease it for NXT, so it won't happen at the Rumble. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Hardy is there. They kind of teased it that the Hardy Boys might be at NXT Vengeance Day. I think they may go in and challenge for Axiom for the NXT titles, but I could see Jeff Hardy coming in. I think Joe Hendry from NXT, he just beat Dolph Ziggler / Nick Nemeth for the TNA World title. I would also love to see Dolph / Nemeth. I think if he was there, he would come in as Nick Nemeth. I think he's loyal to TNA right now. What would be cool to see him come in as a different name. I saw that Matt Cardona will be in Indianapolis for their a WrestleCon type event or whatever. So he will be there that weekend. Would be sweet. Would be awesome. And the last one I'm gonna go with. Oh no, I got two more. Omos. I think Omos comes back. He spent the last month over in Japan and apparently just stole the show. He won like the tag titles his first night, and he just got super over in Japan for whatever reason. They just booked him to actually like wrestle and beat people. So crazy idea. Um, and the last one, I had one more. It's at the tip of my tongue. I had one more. I forgot it. Brennan, you can go if that comes back to me, or you might say it. But you can go. Your returns, debuts, NXT, TNA, whatever it is.
You pretty much took all the main returns I had. Yeah, Jeff Hardy, maybe Matt Hardy. Just go crazy with it. Nick Nemeth, Joe Hendry's gonna go crazy. I feel like they have to do him just because they'll get the pop for that.
I think he'll come out one or two if he comes out, just so they can
Really?
actually sing and do
That
the.
would be crazy. Also, I didn't know if like the New Day were gonna be in it, which if that's the case, then Big E may come in and maybe throw him out. I don't know. And then lastly, um, I would love Finn to come back, but as a demon.
Interesting.
Because like just I feel like if that happens, then you know that he's in a good place. I hope that he's in a good place. He needs it. We agreed. We talked about this before. He just needs it. I want my Roman Empire is his championship run. I will never forget it. I want the Demon King back. Edge is not there anymore. The match didn't happen. Anyway, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Andy.
So speaking of, demon-like things, I think Aleister Black. I understand
Your boy.
where
That's
he's
your guy.
coming. That's my guy. Honestly, when he was in NXT, I was kind of like not really with WWE. Like I would watch it, but I wasn't like really invested. That he was my favorite. I would turn in to watch anything he did. I would anyway. I'm gonna get off on a tangent. I hope he's back. I know he's not as good as he once was. He's getting old. He's probably can't, kick as high as he used to. But I'm excited, and I hope he comes back. Though I know contracts are messy. I don't know if he'll be able to, but um, I'll talk about NXT people for a second. I think Trick Williams will come
Ooh,
up. He might also be someone who comes up one or two. We can get that, whoop that trick
good trick.
chant going the whole time. But honestly,
Him coming out at 1 or 2 and Mello. If Mello came out at 1
Mhm.
and Trick comes out 2 with a whoop that trick to a whole 60,000
Ooh,
would be insane.
It's gonna be awesome. That I think also when he comes up, I've already said this. I keep like stealing people away from other places, but I do think if he comes up, he'll stay up. I also think he's kind of done with NXT. He's ready for him to come up and show the main roster what he's about. The thing I do want to talk about Brock Lesnar for a second. The thing about Brock Lesnar coming, not that I don't want him to come back, but it's what we were just talking about earlier, where the main event is so crowded that, and he's not coming back to be a mid card anything. So like, if he came back, who would you want him to attack or go after? Or
What if it's just a one-off? What if I
oh,
don't?
it could be a one. I didn't think
you
about
could
that,
have
but
you could have like him somehow leading into I want this for Punk, and that's why I think Punk's gonna get where he's at the WrestleMania. But like it's like a triple threat from Roman, Punk, and Lesnar. It's just like the fight for Paul Heyman. You know
that'd
what I
be
mean?
good. No, that would be good.
Like who's the real Paul Heyman guy? I
Well, we
don't
have
know.
CM
I don't
Punk.
know.
Okay, just randomly of those three, who do you just fantasy? Who do you think Paul goes with?
Punk. The best story, I think.
I think it's Brock.
I think it would be Roman.
There you go.
Okay,
It's
well, there you
on
go.
3 sides.
I'm a
Yeah,
Punk guy. You're a
but
Roman
also like
guy.
I'd put Brock maybe second and Punk third. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the Punk stuff as well as I used to, but like
It
been
depends who
watching.
you're turning heel. Because
Yeah.
whoever he goes with would be heel. Well, unless it's with Roman. But if he leaves Roman, that person will be heel. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Brock is Brock. I don't think Brock has a lot that I would want him to do right now. Next year, maybe come back then. Maybe SummerSlam, come back, whatever. But I think Punk would have more interesting stuff to do with Paul. But anyway, back to my returns. I was just curious about the Brock Lesnar. I think Oba Femi will come up just to you know, show off NXT a little bit, kind of like with what's her name from
Julia.
yeah. Like I think that they might bring the champions up just to kind of show everybody like, hey, NXT is really good. Watch on Tuesday nights. So like, I think he might come up. I think uh, potentially Ethan Page, just because he's recognizable enough and he's had such a great year in NXT. I think they might bring him up though because of how star-studded. This is the thing about the returns with. I said the women's will have a lot more. The men's is being built as like the most like heavy hitters they've ever had. That's why Jeff Hardy makes a lot of sense. You said Jeff Hardy, that makes a lot of sense because people will immediately be like, "Oh, he's one of the greatest ever." So like, makes sense for him to come back. It's hard
Yeah.
for me to pick people who are like on that like lower tier of like, "Oh, I'll be excited to see him," but obviously he's never gonna do anything in the Rumble,
Right.
um, just because of the way they're building it. But I think there's potential for some TNA guys to get in there. But you guys have already said I think all the like front runners for get in there, and then I feel like there was someone. Did someone say the person you were thinking of?
No, but I thought of it.
Ooh. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
because I feel like I'm
I thought
thinking of
of one.
someone.
I thought of one as well.
Okay, you
All
both
right,
go because I can't remember.
Brennan, you go first.
Dragunov.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
Who?
Dragunov.
Ilya.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. Yeah.
I
Was
tried
that
to
who you
say
were
it
thinking
cool.
of?
It didn't
No,
sound.
he's not who I was thinking of.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
all right, Andy, who do you think I was thinking of?
I don't. I'm saying I forgot who my last person was. Um, I will say this also before I forget, The Rock, if he were to come in the Rumble, I'd want him to come out at 31 because he used his power to like
Oh,
manipulate where he could come out
just
at
mega
31.
heel.
Yeah,
It
but
makes sense. It does make sense.
I mean that's the only reason why I'd want him to come out. I want him to
Well,
come
that
out and just be like,
well, that
I
would be
am.
crazy if 30 comes out and then like after 10 minutes we get down to the final 4 and then the countdown starts again.
Oh,
Yes.
people lose their
Dude.
minds.
That would be awesome. You would think at first it was like a malfunction, like someone messed up. And you'd be like, oh, and then
No.
oh, it's still counting.
That would probably be the biggest Rock pop since he's been back the last couple years. Him coming after at 31, it'd be insane. The last person I was thinking of, not like super duper cool or whatever, but um it's in Indianapolis. McAfee might they might put him back in because last year he comes in and he just hops in, he looks at Omos and Braun Breaker and then eliminates himself. Um I mean he is like an athlete. He's a talented wrestler. Um, he's proven it in NXT and at WrestleMania and at SummerSlam. He'd get a huge pockets in Indianapolis. That's his crowd. If he went in there and eliminated like Dom or somebody, just a heel that everybody hates. No, that's just a shot in the dark. Someone that would pop the crowd good.
Which last year, like the reason why he was only in there for such a short time is wasn't he replacing Brock? Like, wasn't Brock supposed to be in the Rumble, and then that whole scandal came out like a few days before, and
I
they
don't know.
scrambled and they just put in that spot. I think I read that somewhere. So if he were to come in this year, I think he wouldn't, because that was kind of annoying that he got in and immediately got out.
Yeah, people were not happy about it.
I just thought as well, what if McAfee comes out and then a return or a surprise is Corey Graves?
See, what I think we all talked about, I think everybody talked about whenever the Graves thing first happened, I was like, oh, this is a work from McAfee Graves. I don't think, after thinking about it, I don't think it's a work. I do think Graves was pissed.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
but it would be sweet. It would be, especially if I don't know what the actual commentary, I know Cole and McAfee will be there. I don't know if there'll be a third chair. Last year it was them three. Um, but if McAfee went like 19 and then Graves was 20, they both came from like and then Graves just pummels him and tosses him. I mean, that's a WrestleMania match there. I mean, easily. So that would be sweet. Is there anything we missed? Any important points that we all had ideas of, or anything else? Is there any one person in particular that we all may have forgotten for the women's Rumble return, Andy?
Oh, AJ Lee. We didn't talk about this, but I honestly do think AJ Lee will come back. We like brushed over it. We just all blanked on that. But I do think AJ Lee, it might be wishful thinking, because she has come out and said she's not going to wrestle again. And she's also been in a TV show where she's a wrestler. And then, she's kind of still doing wrestling. So there's parts of me that might be just hoping for it and lying to me. But I do think there's a possibility she'll be in it this year. Which, when I alluded to it earlier, that Charlotte was announced because they had set like a couple of big
That would be a
surprises,
huge one.
right? So like you don't Charlotte doesn't come out at 29 and then AJ because that's just like too much. So you announce Charlotte and then which I don't know if we did most eliminations, but I think Charlotte's gonna have the most.
And then Ronda comes out at 30.
Ronda comes out at 31 because she's
And she's dressed like the final boss.
You guys think because she doesn't understand the plans of wrestling?
I don't think there's any like other crazy free agents that we've missed or anything like that. So I think that's it. Let's run it down. I think we all picked DIY to retain the tag team titles. We all picked Cody to retain his titles. I picked who did I pick to win the women's? I picked EO. Andy picked EO. Brennan, did we three-peat on that one as well?
Yeah.
Wow, we're boring.
It'll be known as well that I got the last year's right. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I would be interested to go back and compare what we said and see what I'll do that. I'll put that. I'll do that before the Rumble. I'll put out the stats of what we predicted and versus got right, and I'll do it for WrestleMania as well.
I feel like even when that happened, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she actually won! Oh my gosh!" I don't
know. And then for the men's, I picked Punk, and then I convinced you guys that you were both thinking Punk, and then you picked Seth, or at least Andy picked Seth.
Yeah, I stay with Punk, but I think it might be Rollins now. So
Batting 1,000 this year.
All right,
100%.
I am excited that it being a 4. Obviously, Triple H has kind of been it's just kind of a thing that Triple H does the 5 match formats on PLEs. It's only 4. Obviously, the Rumbles are all at least minimum of an hour. But I mean, I think you can give that tag match 20 minutes. You can give the WWE title match 20 minutes, and it's just going to be a fantastic show, start to finish. I'm excited. We're officially on the road to WrestleMania. We got one more show, Friday Night SmackDown, before the Rumble. Things could be turned on their head with that show. That could change the landscape of everything. Kane could come back and be the favorite. Who knows? That's it for the Cody Porter Sports Show on the special edition for the Royal Rumble. Check it out Saturday starting 6 Eastern on Peacock. We'll see you next time.